All right, so boom. Elimination Chamber is now in the rearview mirror. And for my money, this was one of the best Elimination Chambers pay-per-views that we've had all time, because the Women's Chamber was a top 2, and it may not be 2, Women's Chamber all time. Jade Cargill returning, although I thought she was going to pull like a Shawn Michaels Elimination Chamber 2010, come from underneath the chamber and then go and attack Naomi, but they had it at the beginning of the show, right before the match started, ultimately revealing Naomi as the alleged attacker. Bianca Belair putting on an Emmy, Oscar, Academy of Awards performance of, losing her mind in the pod. Liv Morgan putting on a magnificent performance. Roxanne and Bayley both absolutely cooked. Magnificent chamber match. Bianca went on to win. Then the tag match, Trish and Tiffany took down Nia and Candice. It was a good match. Not an all-timer, but a good match nonetheless. Everybody got to see Trish. It was magnificent to watch in that jumpsuit. Ooh, take me back, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn always cook. I wish there was legitimate blood, but initially, I was incredibly upset about the barbed wire spot, because how is it that you bang somebody's head off of barbed wire and they don't get lacerated and we don't see color? But there was another angle in which it appeared as if Kevin Owens may have dropped the blade prior to being able to go and blade himself. So I'm not really interested in what legitimately was going to happen, because we saw what we saw. Some may say, well, we didn't see any color in that moment, because at the end of the show, we saw the color that we actually wanted to see, and we'll get there. The men's chamber absolutely cooked. I'm glad Logan Paul lost one way or another. Drew McIntyre, Priest may mess around and be the move. I knew it would be Priest who pins Drew, and ultimately that's what happened. CM Punk gets screwed by Seth Rollins after he got eliminated, and then John Cena takes advantage of Seth Rollins stomping CM Punk, and ultimately STFU, you go to sleep, you're unable to, respond. Cena's heading to Mania. Here comes Cody. Cena never leaves the ring, which ultimately gives us the idea of what was coming. Cena locks eyes with The Rock. Cody tells The Rock to go fuck himself prior to the locking of the eyes. Cody's embraced by Cena. Rock looks at Cena, gives him the cross of the doggone neck. Cena kicks Cody in the balls, proceeds to punch him in the face profusely with a Rolex, then the mic, and then followed by the WWE champion, a chip, that is. And then it appears as if at WrestleMania, in the main event, it will be John Cena taking on Cody Rhodes for the WWE champion. Now, as the Hollywood Heels. Now, I don't know if that's the name they're going with, but I think that could roll. Double H, I like it. But let me tell you this much. We're going to talk about Travis Scott at the end. I'm fixing to rant about that. My blood is boiling about that man being involved in the segment. Let's talk about John Cena turning heel for the first time in 22 years. This was absolute cinema. Furthermore, it's hilarious that John Cena, who I believe is the all-time record holder for granted Make-A-Wishes for that entire foundation, had done a Make-A-Wish prior to Elimination Chamber that very same day and proceeded to turn to the dark side. Somebody needs to get video footage of every single Make-A-Wish kid, who is still around, of course, because some of them, they in the upper room. But they need to get video footage of those children's reactions to Cena turning heel, because truly, if he can leverage those reactions, maybe not put them on camera, but leverage that in a post-Elimination Chamber promo, it's gonna be magnificent. I initially had thought we were going to see at WrestleMania ultimately somebody sell their soul to The Rock. I didn't want to open up that door of other people being able to take advantage of the offer, because it was initially leveraged, or I should say it was initially offered to Cody. But I always knew in the back of my mind, there's a possibility somebody else may cash in on this offer to become the corporate champion for The Rock. My initial plan was you have it at Mania where Cody turns heel, and ultimately you have John Cena chasing championship number 17, and Cody turns heel by way of pulling in Austin at WrestleMania 17 and kicking Cena in the balls, or perhaps continuing to beat Cena with the belt that The Rock had presented, but the moment that I saw he had the father's death date on it last week SmackDown, I already knew it's not going to be Cody who messes around and turns, but that's neither here nor there. It being Cena now is very interesting. The beauty of it is the mere fact that we have 7 weeks between the Chamber and WrestleMania, but it's imperative that either Rock or Cena is on television throughout the course of the next 7 weeks, whether it's Raw and SmackDown or it's just SmackDown or either or. It's imperative that they show face every single week, because the only way to really build this match to where truly people detest Cena is he has to do dastardly things. Similar to last year when you had Rock become the final boss. The reason why it worked, because people don't want to boo The Rock. Granted, we felt as if it's getting a bit overbearing. Dude just shows up out of nowhere. But because we all wanted to see Cody, and The Rock was trying to strong arm his way into a match with Roman, naturally people wanted to go and boo The Rock. And then he proceeded to put on what truly could have been his best run all time. That final boss, that small 2.5 months, that was absolute perfection. Right? From a storyline wise, that may have been the best Rock, despite what he did 99 to 2001, or even Hollywood Rock in that brief moment in 2003. This was cinema every time he was on television, and it was incredibly anticipated to see what would happen, not only night 1 WrestleMania 40, but also night 2. Motherfuckers is texting me while I'm recording. Get the fuck out of here. What you messing with? Oh Lord, Shorty wants me to come over. I may have to cut the recording short, but that's not what we're here to talk about. One way or another, right? The Rock has to be on television alongside John Cena, either or, en route to WrestleMania. And Cena has got to do dastardly things. Just like The Rock was absolutely kicking the living hell out of Cody week after week, beating his ass in the rain, which looked absolutely magnificent, Cena needs to do things like that, so it's not just a moment when he turned heel. Furthermore, Cena can't come out with these motherfucking Fruity Pebble, all kinds of tones of the rainbow colored shirts. Mans need to come out in the motherfucking suit or something that signifies that he's corporate. I ain't saying you gotta show up looking like Corporate Kane, so maybe not so much the super suits. I don't know if he gonna fill in, the bald spot that's there, because it looks rather hilarious every time that we see it, but Cena needs to change his theme and he needs to change his attire. I recall back in 2013, I believe it was, or 2012, prior, or I should say after the first loss to The Rock, Cena had talked about how he was 110% prepared to go and turn heel, but they ultimately went the opposite direction. I would hope that now that he has turned heel, we happen to see some of what was supposed to manifest over a decade ago. And then lastly, Cody gotta get his ass kicked week in, week out, and he won't get his get back at WrestleMania. Here's what I'm the most excited about. Legitimately, Cena can win, and also Cody can retain, and it can make sense. Either you have the corporate champion and Cena wins it at Mania in the main event, or Cody overcomes the odds and for the second consecutive year, he wins at WrestleMania, but for the very first time, he retains that championship, walking in and then walking out as champion. They are in a beautiful spot in the storyline where legitimately it can go either way and it'll make sense. Now, for the other elephant in the room, we're not going to get to Travis Scott just yet. Roman Reigns' role in all of this is going to be very interesting because, of course, we all anticipate he's going to be coming for Rollins because of the double stomp he ended up missing out on Elimination Chamber. But Rollins and Punk are essentially going to be enthralled in what will become this Mania match. I'm very curious what it is that they're going to do regarding getting Roman Reigns involved, because there's no way Roman's going to miss WrestleMania. I would love to see a scenario where it's Roman and Rollins, but Punk has to be involved. So I'm sure over the course of the next 7 weeks, they're gonna have a scenario where Reigns now gets involved, and then ultimately him and Punk may be at odds. I do not want to see a tag match. I think that would be terrible. And furthermore, you still know that there's a favor that has to be cashed in from CM Punk that he'll take from Paul Heyman. So I'm very curious what that'll mess around and be. I would just hope it's not a situation where, Rollins and Punk is fighting. Here comes Reigns. He's looking to go get the spear. Rollins moves out the way. Punk gets hit with a spear. And all of a sudden, this is enough for them to want to fight at WrestleMania. We need to see where that storyline is going to go.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
All these knockout commentaries had me thinking, why don't I knock someone out myself? So I came up with Knockdown Tea, guaranteed to help you sleep longer, sleep better, relax, and restore. Passion fruit flavored, so you know it's good. Simply take it 30 minutes to an hour before you go to sleep, and our slogan is 1 cup down for the count, 2 cups, throw in the towel. So make sure you click the link in my description. Head over to knockdowntea.com and grab your first pack today.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
And lastly, now, turn up the value. Travis Scott, what the fuck was the purpose of having Travis Scott involved in what should be the greatest heel turn in WWE history? Because Hulk Hogan turning heel happened in WCW. In WWE, this is something that we desperately wanted and anticipated for an incredibly long time, and it happened in an absolute beautiful moment where you had Cody, the man who overcame those hard times and brought the championship in one of the most, if not the most emotional victory in WrestleMania history to the Rhodes family. The Rock, a bona fide cornerstone, or I should say, he could possibly be on that Mount Rushmore of WWE. One of the greatest, if not the biggest star in totality in WWE history. John Cena, who's without question one of those goddamn cornerstones, not only cornerstones, the Mount Rushmore, that's the terminology I was looking for, a Mount Rushmore star, and Travis Scott's in the ring? What's the purpose of having Travis Scott? Moreover, let's call it what it is. I know kayfabe is dead, but remember when Jey Uso, who's a top 2 face in the company, made his motherfucking entrance and it was Travis Scott alongside him? That's a face, and Travis Scott came out with him. All of a sudden, weeks later, Travis Scott's coming out with The Rock. What's the significance? What's the consistency? It makes absolutely no sense. There was no reason to have him out there. I know you want to have Travis Scott involved. I know you want to mess around and get clicks. I don't think this man got the kind of pull to where people is pulling up to the show. Yo, we got to be there. Travis Scott is here. It makes absolutely no sense. Homie comes out to the ring. He's drinking what appears to be some sort of energy drink. Homie lighting sage in the motherfucking corner. Few weeks ago, he's smoking motherfucking weed and lighting up blunts in the damn crowd and shit. What's the significance of having this man there? John Cena turns heel. This is a moment that's going to be replayed in WWE history forever. Where's Terry Funk? Resurrect him.
Forever! 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 Forever!
Forever! And you got Travis Scott sitting there in the background doing absolutely nothing. What's the purpose of having this man here? Then he wanted to slap Cody across the doggone face. He's holding him as The Rock is going and slamming this man in the back, whipping his ass, calling him Tobias, whipping him over the goddamn back with that damn, with the weightlifting belt. Last year, it was Mama Rhodes on the belt. This year, it's Daddy Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes, Death Date on the motherfucking belt. He's getting whipped with it, and Travis Scott is involved in this motherfucking turn, bro. This makes no sense. You got a photo, beautiful picture of motherfucking The Rock and Cena staring at Cody on the ground. Cody was getting punched in the head with the Rolex that was the exact same one that his father had. Cody was getting hit in the top of the head with the motherfucking microphone. He got slammed over the top of the head with two times, I should say, with that WWE title. And then The Rock proceeded to go and whip him. But we also got to incorporate Travis Scott getting a slapping. What does this man have? Does he have photos on Triple H? Did he sleep with Stephanie? What's the purpose of having Travis Scott involved in this moment? I ain't saying you can't have celebrities up out there, but what's the purpose of having them in the motherfucking ring? Because 10, 20 years from now, hell, I say 5 years from now, when we look back on the moment, I promise you, motherfuckers will be on some, yo, that was an amazing turn. Oh, wait a minute. That Travis Scott? The fuck is Travis Scott doing here? What was the purpose of having him in there, bro? It ruined it for me. I'm still sports entertained. I still thoroughly enjoyed the segment, but there was no reason to have Travis Scott there extended the entire time. You could have had him come out and perform Fiend at one point earlier in the show. He did not need to be involved in the main event. I can understand he wanted to mess around and get his hands dirty or whatever the case may be. It did not have to happen in this moment. Mans look like, remember that the three dragon meme? Where you got one dragon looking badass in the middle, the other dragon looking like a monster on the left, and then you got this weird ass looking motherfucking dragon. That's Travis Scott. It's like that episode of Family Guy when they was at war and Peter came out dressed like a motherfucking clown.
You're all stupid. See, they're gonna be looking for army guys.
What's the purpose of having Travis Scott here, bro? Wasting our motherfucking time, bro. That was the weirdest incorporation of a celebrity in what should be a huge motherfucking angle. I recognize in wrestling, we've always had wrestlers, or I should say celebrities, involved with wrestlers. You had Karl Malone have a match. You had Dennis Rodman have a match. At the height of NWO, you had Rodman who was involved. Let's not talk about David Arquette. Whatever the case just so happened to be, there's always been celebrities that's played a role in different moments in WWE. But you mean to tell me you gonna mess around and have Travis Scott here when John Cena turns heel for the first time in 22 years? There was no significance of having him there. Made absolutely no sense. This was legitimately reminiscent of the 2016 NBA All-Star game where Kobe had the basketball, LeBron squared up to play defense, and you got motherfucking Drake, who was at Elimination Chamber that they didn't even acknowledge, sitting next to Little Yachty behind the commentary desk, where you got Drake clapping in the motherfucking photo, and it ruined the photo that they had from the further angle. So you had to get the close-up to where you damn near got Drake cropped out. I don't know who's responsible for the Photoshop, the video shop, any kinds of altering of the film. Immediately get Travis Scott the fuck up out the goddamn picture, bro. No disrespect to that gentleman right there. I'm sure he's done some amazing things. I've heard his music. He's got some great stuff to get you hyped. Go lift some weights in the motherfucking gym. Maybe you go to a goddamn mosh pit and super kick somebody that you happen to have beef with. And while their eyes closed, they got no clue it was you. You can easily get away with it. You have an alibi. Everybody's mosh pitting. But one way or another, get this man the fuck up out the ring. Nobody wanted to see him there in that moment. It completely devalued the moment, in my opinion. It made absolute no sense. There's no reason to have that dude there. Get him the fuck up out of here. As it pertains to moving forward with Elimination Chamber going into WrestleMania, I anticipate this being one of the greatest builds to the main event that we have had all time. It can be on the same level as last year, as long as we see Cena and Rock consistently between now and WrestleMania. I'm ecstatic, I'm excited for it, and I'm looking forward to it. And to be honest with you, the cards are not completely dealt regarding me going to WrestleMania. I may pop out to Vegas to go to WrestleMania this motherfucking year because it seems like the card is gonna be fucking electric. I may mess around and pop out, and if I do, I'm gonna have to do the IRL stream out there. Y'all let me know if y'all would want me to go and do that in the chat below. But moreover, in the comment section, let me know what your thoughts on Cena finally turning heel is, because I was waiting for this. You were waiting for this for years. And who would have thought, in what will be his retirement tour, Cena turns heel? I did not anticipate this being the direction that they were going to take it, but post Royal Rumble, that promo where he said he's going to do any and everything in order to get to the main event, I kind of knew the remnants of him possibly turning heel was there. And then the moment that The Rock came into the play talking about he wanted Cody's soul, I immediately said Cena was going to go and win the chamber. The only other person who could possibly win it would have been Punk, but I was still 100% in on Cena, and I knew it was either Cena or Cody who's going to play the role with the changing of the soul, or I should say changing heel and giving their soul to The Rock, and now we are here. So again, let me know in the comment section what you guys thought of not only Cena turning heel and what the main event picture for WrestleMania is fixing to be, but furthermore, what do you think about the entirety of Elimination Chamber? What did you think about the Women's Chamber? Did you think the match was as good as I believe that it was? What are your thoughts on Jade, Naomi, Bianca? That in and of itself, we could have a conversation during the Monday Night Raw or the Friday Night SmackDown stream, where I do believe that Bianca still plays a role in Jade getting attacked. I don't think she was a mastermind behind it, but that's neither here nor there. We don't need to talk about that and expand on it, because we're gonna sit over here, this video gonna mess around and be 3 hours. But one way or another, let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of John Cena turning heel, and where would you rank this amongst the heel turns in WWE history? Let's not take into account any other companies. WWE history, where does this rank on your all-time heel turn? Let me know below. This was a great segment. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Hey, I appreciate you watching the entire video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button on the way out if you haven't already. And on top of that, hit that notification bell as well. For whatever reason, YouTube's only showing my videos to 20% of my subscribers. So if you have already turned on the notification bell, turn it off, turn it back on. If you never turn it on, turn it on. I appreciate you.